Hey guys, I'm back with another NBA 2K18 gameplay. There's a couple things I want to get into this video. Apparently there's a new update. I'm not going to go through the list, but people that have this game will know there's a new update. But it doesn't really address a lot of things wrong with the game, in my opinion. They're talking about frame rates being dropped and whatever, and you can see your attributes. Don't get me wrong, that's helpful. You can see your attributes whilst you're upgrading them, but that's helpful, but that's not really the main issues with the game. Issues with the game are about like missing wide open layups, which they haven't addressed. And it's not to just say it's there's a lot of people apparently missing wide open layups. There's an issue where after a game, not always, but after a game, sometimes the VC doesn't actually save, and the worst thing about it is your teammate, and that's the worst thing about it because everything costs VC in this game. Not only that, but your teammate grade drops as well. So you can imagine how annoying that could be when everything, even to get a new haircut, it costs VC, but it doesn't always save the VC that you won from the previous game. So again, just a few things to fix up for 2K. I haven't played online, but some people are saying there's a bunch of stuff online that's not working. And you know what, this is to kind of be expected. In the first couple of weeks 2K comes out, the only times it will stop is roughly about Christmas time. That's when, well, I don't want to say they stop with updates, but that's when roughly they start focusing on NBA 2K19. Not obviously advertising it, but just start focusing on that, building that up more and whatever. But my thing is, I wonder if 2K actually plays their games before the releases, because some of these patches, you should have noticed this while you were making the game. Like I fully thought you would have noticed this, because I noticed it and I've only had it for a couple of weeks. You lot have had it for months, maybe a year, and you're telling me you haven't noticed some of these patches, some of these things. That's what I'm saying, it just sounds stupid. But anyway, as you can see here, the Washington Wizards are beating us by 3 points. Marcus Cousins, obviously this is pre-recorded, but I'm very upset right now because the Marcus Cousins is not with us. He got injured, he broke his leg. And again, another thing wrong with this game is the amount of injuries that can happen. I think they've turned up injuries way too much. Because lately, especially for some people, it's been every game, which injuries do happen in the NBA, but every game, you're bound to see an injury, sometimes 2 injuries. Like when I was playing the Celtics, there was 3 legit injuries. I think there was actually 4, but I know there was 3 because I think DeMarcus Cousins got injured, Kyrie got injured, and I think Gordon Hayward got injured, and I think somebody else from the Celtics got injured as well, all during that game. Little layup there, gets the Wizards. Again, I just came back from a game where I like I said, this is pre-recorded, so this is me giving you the gameplay and sometimes a bit of a rant whilst I'm watching it back. But again, I just came from a game where, who was I facing? I think I was facing, Detroit. Beat them, have the VC, and then the VC just doesn't even save. I had 3,300 VC, and now I look back, as soon as I go into the neighborhood, it's all gone, the 1,000 plus VC that I earned. But again, it's 2K, we have to give them a chance, even though they charge us how much for when the game comes out, and they make it seem like it's worth it when it really isn't, because the game is not fully complete. But lately all games have been doing that. I don't mind if a game does it, depending on how good it is. Like when GTA does it or something, I don't really care because it's GTA. But when it's something like 2K, that every year they come out with a game, I kind of mind it, because every year you're spending, I don't know how much it is in America, like I said, I think I've said that before, but you're spending over here about £50 for it, 45 to £50, which is outrageous to say the least for a game that's not even completed. That's about 75 completed every time it comes out. Again, I want you lot to really share this video because I want them to hear some of the comments. I should go on my Facebook right now and read some of the comments that I've seen, because a lot of people ain't happy about the new patch because nobody really cares about the frame rate. People care about the gameplay, how you got people leaving, how you got people on your team that can't even shoot threes, but when you play against them, or if you get traded or start again, how they play like Steph Curry, like all of them. One game I had guys like, what's his name? He was a center anyway. Yeah, and he had like 4 threes, and this guy doesn't even live. This guy doesn't come out the paint. He could barely do anything. What was his name? I think it was Drummond. Even though I just faced Detroit, it wasn't that game. Could have been somebody like Drummond or somebody like that, and he was pulling up for a three. He hit 4 threes, and it was like, wow. Could have been a different center, but I just know the center doesn't have that kind of ratings. About how you can't skip. There's another bug as well about you can't skip the cutscenes. Well, it's not really a bug, but it should really be in the game. But it'll probably be later. I'm not too worried about that. It's kind of just hard, you know what I mean? This game, they've got so much. This game has so much, and I fell into the hype, and I hate falling into hype about how much improved the game is, and when you buy it, it's not really that improved. The gameplay's not improved. Okay, yes, they've added the neighborhood, which again nobody really asks for. People are happy about it. If I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really too bothered about it, to be honest. Yes, it was a nice thing, but I don't know how many people are clamoring to see it. Once it was announced, people were like, "Oh my god, don't lie to us, 2K, please let this be." And you're like, I wasn't clamoring for it. I wasn't hyped up for it. And to be honest, I could do without it. Like, if you lot took that out and put some of the old features back in, I think I'd be happy with that. Like being able to talk to the GM about making trades. That's one thing I would like to do. And you can actually pick some of those trades. Because remember, in the PS3 games, you can actually go talk to the GM, and sometimes he'll invite you depending on how long you've been with the team. Like, if you've been with the team since the beginning of the year and you're going to the All-Star break, you can talk to them about making trades. They'll invite you and say, who do you want on your team? Now, they don't have that. They haven't had that in a while. They haven't actually had that since then. I don't know why they took it out, but hey, I'm not. Nice pass. Oh, you lost the pass. Hey, I'm not 2K. I don't know what goes on in their heads to keep adding stuff that nobody really needs, and you know, we're supposed to take it because it's 2K. One thing I'm not gonna lie, even though I have not played the full version of NBA Live, and I admit that here, the demo for actual gameplay is about equal to this in some aspects, and some aspects not. Nice dunk. Like how you would have teammates and they would actually defend their positions. Like on here, they would give you like 5 feet. Tony Allen literally gave a 3-point shooter 5 feet to shoot the ball. I was screaming to him to play some defense. Nope. Man didn't want to play no defense whatsoever. And it does sound like I'm going on, but it's just the fact that you pay so much for a game that's not complete, and then every year they expect you to do the same thing. I'm not gonna BS about it. That's what they've done every year. I really feel they should be. I really feel like it's a criminal thing. Like, there should be an actual law against it. Do not come out with games unless you know wholeheartedly that it's worth the price. So if you're gonna come up with a £50 game, it better be worth £50. Don't give me no game that's I'll buy it for £50 and it's barely worth 30. This game to me, with all the stuff that looks like it's going on with it, I wouldn't even give it £40. I would give it about 30. Yeah, 30. I think £30 is reasonable for this. If somebody said, yeah, you can get NBA 2K 18 for £30, 25 to £30, I'd buy it, and then that would be what I paid for, and I would think it was worth it. But to be honest, it's not worth no £45. To those who haven't bought it yet, you're pretty smart. Don't buy it until Christmas, or roughly around that time, or next month, when they've started to find out some of the patches. They'll find out some of the issues and make patches for it. Because what they do is, obviously, if you play the 2 game, they try to get a whole bunch of issues and try to fix it all in one time. Well, at least it's not as bad as last time. You remember, people that spent VC on their characters must have been pissed on NBA 2K17, because what they did was, when they came out of a patch that made your old characters not work, because the shooting things on that were that broken. They basically redone the whole game through one patch. So you had to start all over again. That's why you don't buy the VC. You work for it. If they do that in this game, I'm gonna be pissed though. Just because I've come so far in the storyline. Right now I'm near the... Literally I've got one more game till the All-Star break. And I don't want to do that all again. If they do that, I'm just gonna create a center and just keep going online and improving that way. Because I'm not doing this whole storyline again. It's not good enough to do it. It's not good enough to do it more than 3 times. Twice, yeah, you'd get bored of it, but hopefully by then you can skip the cutscenes. I see that animation right there. That animation, even if you're wide open, sometimes can miss. Again, something that needs to be addressed. And I hate talking bad about a game, but like I said, just do it right. You have a whole team behind you. You have millions upon millions going into a game, and you receive it back in profit plus more. And you're telling me you come out with this. This is what I'm trying to say. When GTA came out, you couldn't even play online. But the thing is, the storyline was so good, people kind of understood it and took it. Anyway, it's just my thoughts. Let me know what you lot think, what they need to improve, and then I'll say it in my next video. Like, if you lot comment down below, if you lot have this game, then comment down below and say what they need to fix, and in my next game which I post, I'll just, you know, say everything that you lot have said. Because there is a lot of, I haven't even strolled through. You know when you go on Facebook and you see some of these comments, they make you laugh out loud. They just bust out in laughter. There's so many. About how, again the gameplay, where they say it's designed to make it harder for the real players, I get that, but again, you should have some help on both ends of the court, meaning both your team and the opposite team should play hard as well, or not just their team play hard against you and then your team play like absolute garbage, play basically 1-on-5, or maybe if you're lucky you can get like 2 or 3 guys that actually show up, but the team as a whole never shows up on this game. I've ranted throughout this whole thing. I apologize. Next time I will try to go through gameplay, unless you lot leave comments saying again what you lot want to be fixed, but you have to leave it down to the comment section. Like this video and subscribe. Thanks guys.